Welcome, parents. My name is Julie Fields, and I teach Basic English and English Lab for grades 10, 11, and 12. The best way to contact me is through email at fieldsj@bbhcsd.org. Students can also contact me through Google Hangouts, where they can send me a text message or invite me to a video or audio call. You're welcome also to give me a call and leave a voicemail. However, this is the slowest method, as sometimes I don't get the message until the end of the day or the next day. If you're in a hurry, this is a good spot to jump out. If you have the time, over the next few minutes, I will tell you about myself. And if you're really patient, you can go to all the way to the end of the video, where I will be talking about the tools that we use in my classroom. Thanks so much for being here, and welcome to the high school. I've been in the district for 26 years. I've taught at Central School, the middle school, and the high school. I specialize in teaching English and social studies. I have my degrees from the University of Akron and Kent State University, and I'm certified to teach special education, grades K through 12, and elementary education, grades 1 through 8. I live in Akron near the Cauga Valley National Park and the Sand Run Metro Park in Akron, and I love it. My family lives there as well. I've been married to Mr. Fields, Mark Fields, for 29 years. He is also an English teacher here at the high school. I have a son who's 21 years old. His name is Patrick. He's a mail carrier. And I have a daughter, Anna, who's 20 years old, and she likes to travel and spent some time teaching English in Guatemala. I have 7 brothers and sisters, so I come from a big family. And I spent a lot of time with my mom, who is getting up there in the years, and we like to hike in the parks quite a bit. Google Classroom will be the hub of our classroom, as is in the case for many of your classes. If you go to the Classwork tab, you will see all the information for my class. The Zoom link will be at the top in general information. And under the week's dates will be all the assignments. And I'm doing my best to keep everything organized and to say which day things will be done on and which order things will be done. So I'm doing what I can do to keep that organized, although from day to day things change depending on how far we get. Zoom is what I'm using for whole group conferences and classes. When the students, half of them will be at home, half of them will be in school. We will use Zoom for either part or all of the class to communicate. I have made my Zoom secure so that students can only join the Zoom if they are logged in as a student at Brecksville-Broadview Heights High School. So this is causing them a little bit of trouble because they have to take an extra step to go to zoom.com and sign in with their Google account before they click on the Zoom link for our class. So they're starting to get the hang of that. Progress Book is another good tool for you as parents and the students. Some of the students only look at the grades tab, but if you look at the planner tab, many of the teachers post assignments there and information. In addition, some teachers post information in class information. You might have links or other information about your class. Some parents are having some trouble finding report cards. So you go to the report cards tab. If the report card doesn't show up, go to view paper history. The students we will be working together to add the school calendars to their Google Calendar, but parents can also go to the school website and add the district or the school calendar to your iPhone or Google Calendar. If I have the student in Basic English 10, they will be using Savvas, which used to be Pearson. That is our online textbook, and we will be logging into that and using that to read literature and other text. Edulastic is another tool we'll be using, which is an assessment tool. Students will take quizzes and tests through this. We have a new tool that we're using this year called Lexia Rapid Reading, and this is replacing Achieve. The students will be taking 3 assessments during the year. the beginning, the middle, and the end, and hopefully this will show us the students' progress in reading. I think that it will be giving us better reports than Achieve gave us, and we will be able to identify as teachers and parents our students' weaknesses and strengths so that we can target those in the future. We will be also reading Scholastic Magazines as we've done in past years. News ELA is another program that I will be using more this year. Many of the students have used it before, but it does what Achieve did in that when a student reads an article, it adapts to their reading level. So it might shorten the article or make the vocabulary more simplistic. So we will be doing that, using that to really individualize the students' reading. At first, I'm assigning them articles that are at their grade level to see how close they are to reading at grade level, and it doesn't adapt, but this is just an assessment tool, and as we move forward in the year, the students will be reading adapted reading material. iExcel is another tool that we'll be using this year. We are going to be using the diagnostic tool in iExcel, which also targets the students' strengths and weaknesses so that they will be each working on something different, and it'll be very individualized, targeting their weaknesses and trying to fill in the gaps for their learning. iExcel focuses on writing mechanics and grammar and language and some reading skills. Quizlet is another tool. Most students are familiar with Quizlet. Bookshare is a tool that is nationally available to any student with a visual impairment or a learning disability. It provides access to hundreds of thousands of books free in digital format, and the technology reads the text aloud so that the student can read along to the audio. Some students don't like this because it is a computer-generated voice. So it's not as good as an audiobook, but it is free, and it's free access to many books, including textbooks at a college level. So if you're interested in getting your child access to Bookshare, let me know. I will probably try to hook everyone up to this, but we have so many resources, we may not be able to get to all of them. Ohio Means Jobs is a resource that I'll be using with my 11th and 12th graders to learn about job skills, interviewing, applying for jobs, and many different skills that they'll need for transition from high school into adulthood. In my class, students have very little homework, although everyone works at different rates, so they may have to finish the work from the class. If they're absent, they'll have to make up work. One of the best things that they can do is talk about what we're working on or reading or writing about at school, at home, which will help to reinforce the learning. And again, encourage your child to read anything they can get their hands on. Grades are almost all summative. If they're putting forth their best efforts, the grade should show what they know and what they can do. So grades throughout the quarter should improve. They may start out a little bit lower, but as they retake tests or do the same skill again, I might replace that grade with a previous grade once they've improved that skill or task. Sometimes I'll average all of the vocabulary quizzes or all of the reading comprehension quizzes, but more often I will average the top 3 or their best performances. One of the ways that I communicate with my students, especially since we're using this hybrid method, is Google Hangouts. This is an app that can be installed on their phone, and this way I can text back and forth with the student on my phone and theirs. It can also be an audio phone call or a video call using Google Hangouts. It can also be accessed on their Chromebook through Google Hangouts, hangouts.google.com. And it can also be accessed through the sidebar of their email on any computer. So welcome to this very interesting and different year. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. I'm here to help your son or daughter achieve the best that they can this year.